income levels are, you have to take in your tax forms and all your income forms and everything that shows what you have, what sort of revenue you have. And they'll put you in front of the Board of Review and find out if you fit that qualification. And if you do, they don't always reduce it 100%. Sometimes they'll give you a 50% or a 25% deduction. Sometimes they say you're over the limits and the qualifications and you get nothing.
Right. Is this the same township that overassesses your property value?
Every township is claimed, that is argued that they overassess. But yeah, that's out there for people. And you just have to do it in time. When you get your tax bill is the time you go down and you say you want to appear before the Board of Review.
Right.
And they'll say why, and you say, I want to cry impoverished. They'll give you the tax forms in the township, or the forms you need to fill out.
Right.
Fill them out and go in front of the Board of Review.
Well, that's good to know. So you seniors out there, if you're on fixed incomes, make sure you take advantage of it, because a lot of I didn't know that.
Yeah, every township sets their own limits, because let's face it, what's poor in one township is not necessarily poor in another.
That's right. Bloomfield Township, I'm sure, is a little different than Northfield Township, right?
Right.
Yeah, exactly right. Let's take a call from Walter on line 2. Walter, welcome to the show.
Hey, man, I want to ask you a question. I think you already covered. How do these clowns, these slanderers and liars, know that Donald Trump said what he said, supposedly had said racist comments?
Well, wait a minute. How does that become a racist comment?
Yeah. Number one is, we said at the beginning of the show, calling a country a crap hole is not racist, because what race are you denigrating? Yeah. It's a country. It's not a person. It's a country. And there are multiple ethnicities within every country on the planet. So what are you being racist about when you call a country that, and crap hole can be qualified? Number one, would you call Syria a crap hole? I'm not going there for vacation, and I don't want to live there. The cities are bombed out. I don't want to live in Aleppo. I don't want to visit it. It's a crap hole.
Somalia?
Right? Somalia. Do I want to go somewhere where tribal feuds are going at each other and cutting off arms because they are from a different tribe or a different religion?
Any city in India.
Exactly. I mean, these countries are crap holes. I think all he did was speak the truth. Whether he said that and used that word or not, I don't know.
I like Fox News is saying alleged.
Alleged.
Yes.
Alleged. Yeah, go on, Walter. You had another question.
As usual, we have the usual Republican suspects like Lindsey Graham and Bubba Ryan. That's right, I said it again. Got to open their big mouths with prejudgment and slander, and thereby breaking one of the commandments of bearing false witness, like many of them do, especially on that black state local station. They're still looking for a last-minute Hail Mary to get Donald Trump out of office. And if people like yourselves and myself stick with him, they got enough chance, about as much chance as Frosty Snowman surviving the fires of hell of winning.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And we better stick with him. And these people always jump to conclusions. Come on, he said it. A bunch of liars, man. A bunch of backstabbing devils and everything else. Don't let me say a lot of other things, but I'm out of here.
All right.
Hey, Walt, roll the windows up. It's cold out, man.
All right, Walter, take care. All right, let's take a call from Mary Beth, who wants to talk about Michigan property tax. Go ahead, Mary Beth.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to really put it out there. I hear all this talk about property tax and how they should be lowered. They shouldn't exist at all. It's immoral to make us serfs just paying rent to live on the property that we rightfully own. We thought we owned this property, yet we have to pay rent on it.
Yeah, that's right.
It's immoral. I had a friend tell me once who lived in Alabama, but our property taxes are so low, we lived on such and such, it was only $300 a year. I said, it's still immoral.
Yeah, yeah, it's terrible that you can never really, even in the country, the bastion of capitalism and private industry, we never own our own property. That's true.
You go default, they'll take your property away, right? That's what it means.
Yeah. Yeah, great point, Mary Beth.
So wrong. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. So I would prefer to keep the state income tax and eliminate property taxes altogether.
Oh, good point. Good point. All right. Anything else, Mary Beth?
Go Pat Colbeck for governor. Yes.
Yes. There you go. All right. Thanks, Mary Beth. Appreciate it.
Day.
You too. Okay, so we talked about Laura Ingraham, and she hit it on the head the other day. So I want to start with, Derek, while we got time, track one. This was Laura. And again, this was after seeing that meeting of Donald Trump and all the senators. Go ahead and play that, Derek.
As I predicted, this Gang of Six bill is a complete and utter joke. Earlier in the week, the president empowered congressional leaders to come up with a bipartisan deal to address the status of those 800,000 or so dreamers that Obama, through executive action, protected from deportation. Remember, there were some prerequisites. Build the wall, add more border agents and immigration judges, and end chain migration and the visa lottery. But today, Senators Dick Durbin, Lindsey Graham, and Jeff Flake unveiled their great compromise. The moment I heard it was those three involved, I knew it was going to be bad, by the way. If you're wondering why the president has already, in the words of Dick Durbin, personally rejected the bill, I'll tell you why. It would increase chain migration, violating one of the president's non-negotiables. Number one, the DACA recipients get citizenship and can then sponsor relatives and their parents for renewable 3-year periods. The money for border enforcement is, as I predicted, a pittance. $2.3 billion is all Durbin, Graham, and Flake offered. And by the way, only $1.6 billion will go toward the construction of the wall or the double fencing. And what are they supposed to build the wall with? Styrofoam for that much money? A real border wall is expected to cost about $20 billion. And while Congress anguishes to find the money, well, by the way, remember, we're going to rebuild Puerto Rico for about $50 billion, and illegals cost us all in about $113 billion a year. So do not tell me we don't have the money to enforce our own border.
All right, so there you go. So for some of my Facebook friends that we had a big argument this week, right? $113 billion a year we spend on illegal immigrants, all in, and that's your schools, that's your hospitals, that's everything, right? So you two knuckleheads, Facebook friends of mine, I should just out you for being ignorant and stupid and hateful, but $113 billion a year. So if we spend $50 billion on a wall or $20 billion on a wall. Yeah. That money comes right back, and Mexico does pay for that.
Wait a minute,
right?
Now you're asking somebody to do math. Come on, nobody knows how to do math anymore.
Just number one, stopping the loss of GDP, because all these illegals who come here and make their money and send it away.
Gross domestic product.
Yes, you're reducing it when they just take that cash, under the table cash, and they ship it to Mexico, right? So we're propping up Mexico with our money. Right?
And Mexico knows it.
Mexico knows it. Absolutely, they do. Well, we didn't get to a bunch of other stuff.
It can't be that time.
It's that time already.
Derek?
It's over. It's over. I know. All right, until next week, go to thedailydrift.com. And please, people, talk up Patrick Kolbeck. And did you say we were going to try and get Sandy Penciler?
Yes, his aide is supposed to contact me.
Hopefully we'll get Sandy Penciler.
And Kolbeck is supposed to call in also.
Okay, so we're going to try and get some people in here to interview. Until next week, go to thedailydrift.com. See you.